doing it live.
Don't get my drink yet.
Oh, well.
Tough.
Your free-to-play tiers can wait, sir. That's why I put a mini fridge behind me. But anyways, hold on.
It's right over there.
I know, it's right behind me. Anyways, hello, friends.
Is our mic on?
Your mic is on.
Okay.
Nev, do you want to say something just to double check?
Is my mic on?
Your mic is on. I have yet to mute you.
Bloody better be.
It is. So far, you know what that just means? If there's no technical difficulties at the start of the episode, be prepared. It's going to be a surprise somewhere halfway through. Hello, friends.
Oh, I've already found the issue.
What was the issue?
The issue is that you have me labeled as Nev and Nev as me.
Hold on. You ready for this? I'm going to do some magic. Force magic. Ooh. What?
Just do a wipe.
I
Just do a
did.
Star Wars
That's
wipe.
what I did. I did a wipe. I wiped it away. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I am here with two of my really good friends. To my left, I have Paul Anthony, or at least he's my left now, Paul Anthony, and to my right, the Nev from the Escape Pod cast. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hello there.
Now, we had a really interesting week this week. Now, Paul or Nev pointed out that technically this isn't blabbing about Boba. This is dishing about Den. Because yet another week of...
Or gaggling about Grogu.
Gaggling about Grogu. This is...
Lamenting about Luke. Asking about Ahsoka.
Asking about Ahsoka. Astonishing Ahsoka. The amazing Ahsoka. So, we had another week where Boba Fett was hardly in the show. In fact, he had 0 lines. He was there. He was there. But no lines. But I'm excited about this week. Now, next week, tomorrow, is the season finale. Theoretically. It's planned that we are going to be getting the season finale tomorrow, mañana.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Rumors and speculation abound, but as it goes, retweeting about R2.
I was gonna say.
Right? Lots of stuff. I'm excited to talk about this, gentlemen, because I was really upset that we weren't talking about this right off the bat.
I watched this in the airport, waiting to see if I was actually going to get out of Detroit on Wednesday just before that storm hit.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and all throughout the episode, I'm going, oh, no way. Whoa.
Yeah. I bet you annoyed your fellow flyers.
Oh, no, I didn't watch it in the airplane. I watched it in the airport.
And you didn't watch it again on the airplane? And then again on the airplane? Oh. Anyways.
I only watched it once.
Did you really? So I've watched it twice.
I only watched it once.
I was going to watch it again tonight, but I took a nap. And it's what happens when you overconsume on McDonald's.
Or get old.
Or get old. Yeah, right. Gentlemen, I'm excited about this week. It was a good episode, and I say let's just dive into it. So we start off with Mando. Not Boba, just Mando. Last week, Fenneck Shand walked after, Mando had his tool time moment, right? He was putting together the hot rod, and he gets brought into Fenneck Shand's like, hey, you want a job? And he's like, yeah, I got to go see a man about a
horse.
A man about a baby Yoda. And so, because technically we still don't know what species Yoda is, So calling Grogu a Baby Yoda technically is still correct. Now, it is. I mean, we don't know his species or his like subtype, whatever scientific term. But here's the thing. He starts off, and we actually go to this planet. Now, Paul, what was the name of this planet?
The name of the planet where Luke is at and training Grogu,
yes,
is Elfanra. That is where the Jedi Temple was that Kylo went when he was found to be Force sensitive.
So, is this the same Jedi Temple that is what you would see as destroyed in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is.
Okay.
Elfanra is the location.
Okay. So, he shows up. He flies in. Now, I gotta say, like, right off the bat, I thought this was going to be a cooler moment than it was. But you have the army of ant droids, right? I thought those were pretty dope. I think that it's awesome to see, like, how they're incorporating the different aspects of Star Wars into this show. Specifically, like, droids, right? They're making use of these different types of machines. I thought it was neat. I really did. It also, I think, is preparing me for the soon-to-be upcoming droid revolution. Amazon and Tesla. You know, I even told my students today, I'm like, get prepared, right? Because as soon as Elon Musk's chip starts going haywire in people's heads, that's the end, right?
Order 499.
Yes, order 499. And so, really an interesting, it was cool, but Mando shows up and he's like looking around. First person he sees is R2. And R2, being an obnoxious little turd, doesn't take Mando to go see Luke. He takes him to go see Ahsoka. Now, I was not necessarily...
And he does what any father figure would do immediately once he gets there. He takes a nap.
Yeah, right. He lays down. He's like, ugh. It's a long space flight. Now I gotta say, like, I love his new ship, but there's no place for a bathroom, right? Like, there's no sleeping quarters. This is a starfighter, right? This is not a traveling ship.
He went from a minivan down to a hot rod.
Yeah, it's midlife crisis Mando, right? And like, I'm very curious to see if he goes back to the ways of the bounty hunter, because if he does, how is he going to transport his? Well, I guess we did see in the last episode how he transported his cargo, because he cut off his head. Which, I mean, that's one way to do it. But, so he shows up and he's like, hey, where's the kid and Baby Yoda, and Grogu, and he gets brought to Ahsoka. Now, this is an interesting. I don't know. I thought it was fascinating as we're watching this, because Ahsoka and Mando have this kind of like back and forth, like, hey, how's it going? And Ahsoka definitely teases Mando, right? He's like, oh, he brought you to me instead of, you know, this plucky little droid. Is the more I see of R2, the more, like, disgruntled he becomes in my mind. Am I the only person that feels that? Like,
yes.
Really? You don't feel like every time he shows up, he's like a little angstier?
Yeah, because it's so easy to see what his emotions are behind that bloody Mandalorian helmet, right?
No, I'm not talking about Mando. I'm talking about R2.
Oh, R2. R2's always obnoxious. He's always been obnoxious.
Yeah, like, he gets worse, I feel like. Right?
R2 is always the only person who he's not, the only people that he's not obnoxious with, as far as I can tell, is Luke and Leia. Those are the only two Star Wars characters that he's not obnoxious with. He's obnoxious and sarcastic with everybody else.
Yeah, specifically C-3PO. But if you were like hanging out with C-3PO all the time, I think you'd be obnoxious to him too, right?
Yeah,
because C-3PO is obnoxious in and of himself. He just So we get this back and forth between Ahsoka and Mando, right? And hey, I came to see the kid, so on and so forth, and it was interesting because we see the connection now. When Ahsoka originally refused to train Grogu, right? Not Luke, sorry. She said that his connection is too strong. The bond is too strong. And it would be too difficult for him to let go. Now, in the moment, it was talking about Grogu. Hey, Grogu's going to have too hard of a time to let go and actually give in to the training. But in this episode, she says a similar thing to Den, and it's more of a, I knew you wouldn't be able to do it. I knew you as a father figure wouldn't be able to give up control, right? And I think that's one of the things that it was that's so interesting about this is I think it does, from the Mandalorian's perspective, I think what I do like about this is it does show the father-son connection, right? It's building a bond between those two, and I like that. I think it's really neat. One of the I think it's awesome.
You see, I mean, you can call it that, but it's not really that.
What do you think it is then?
It's just he just thinks of Grogu as a youngling who he is, 100% responsible for, because that's the way he's been raised. He was raised by Mandalorians as a youngling. The whole creed, the religion, everything was imprinted on him. Young ones must be looked after, they must be nurtured, they must be brought up, as Mandalorian, and that's how it is. So it's not a father-son type relationship; it's a Mandalorian youngling relationship, which I mean, from the outside looking in, it may look the same. But it's not quite the same. He's not dropping off. He doesn't feel the attachment to him like a father to a son. He feels the attachment to him like, a mentor to a youngling, hence the gift and what the gift was.
All right. And see, I do feel there's more to it than that. And I see what you're saying, and I definitely think that's the road they're going down. But I think the emotion that they're pulling on for us is that father-son, right? It's I think you're right. In universe, he has that connection. I do feel it's a little more than that. Now, the reason I feel like that is we do finally get to see what's in the package, and I freaking called it.
Yeah, you did. You called it. I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a little mud hole necklace, and you said chain.
I thought it was gonna be a helmet.
I like. It would have been dope for the helmet, but like because the package looked like a Grogu face, but I don't know. Like it was in like a little package. It was adorable. I don't know, but like just the links all there. Anyways. I love though that when Ahsoka brings Grogu or Din to the opening in the clearing where Yoda or Grogu and Luke are training, and she asks him, "Why are you here?" Right? Not so many words, but like not those words specifically. But she's like, "Why are you here? Are you here for him, or are you here for you?" Right? And he even says, I want to give it to him, And then she's like, if you do, it's going to make him hard. It's going to make it harder for him to give you up, right?
And let you down.
And yeah, because he'll feel like he's letting you down, right? But
like he's running around and deserting him.
That's exactly the feeling that I think Din is going with, right? He's being rickrolled emotionally, right? He's on this emotional Rick roller coaster, and it's a challenge for him. And so, but like the reason I say that I think it's a little more than this is there's that pause. And yeah, you hit the nail on the head. You can't see what Din is doing because you can't see his emotions. He doesn't have his helmet off, right? But he's staring up at the clearing, and he's like, I want to give it to him. And then he's like, and Ahsoka says, if you give it to him, it's just going to be that much more of a challenge. And then he says, but I've come all this way, and he's right there. Right? To me, if this was a mentor-mentee foundling situation, and I think that all plays into it, but I think that it's more because of that moment where Din is like, but he's right there. He is right there, and I've come all this way. If he was the mentor that you're speaking of, he would have been like, yeah, you're right. And ultimately, that's what he does. But it takes a moment. He wouldn't have said, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. It's going to be a challenge for him, whatever. I don't want to like mess up his training. Here he's like, I want to see him. Right? I've come all this way. And again, are you doing this for you or are you doing this for him? And I think both of them is yes. Is the answer I think is yes to both of those. Which is powerful in my mind. I thought this was a really cool moment, but it gives more background, more love, more everything. Now, then anything else on this before I move on? This was awesome. I loved this. Seeing Ahsoka in the episode was awesome. I was not expecting that. This whole episode was nothing that I expected.
Come on. Yes, this is the Dave Filoni episode. He's going to give himself all the goodies. It's like, it's my play set, and I want to play with my toys. She's one of my toys. This is my episode I'm playing with. Because here's the thing, right? You could have lifted that completely out.
Oh, yeah.
You could have lifted her out of that episode and replaced that particular character with anyone. But it was Ahsoka Tano because it's Dave's episode.
That's I think you're right. I think absolutely this is Dave's episode. This is why we see Ahsoka Tano here. These are his toys. These are his creations. All of them. Din, Grogu, Cat Bane, as we'll discuss, Ahsoka, all of them are Dave's toys. And he wants to play. He's
his playground. It's his playground. He gets to play with what toys he wants.
It is.
It's like how do I make my episode the best? I know. I'll put all of these characters in my episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Now here's the thing. Like the next scene shows this is where we see Luke and Grogu training. Now, I was excited to see this. I thought this was really awesome. It shows Grogu's hesitation, but also shows his mastery of the Force, and it shows Luke and Luke's mastery of the Force. This was a really interesting moment, I thought. Like, I loved that it started off with Grogu wanting snacky time, right? He's sitting there trying to focus. He's trying to meditate.
By the way, there's the temple.
There's the temple. Okay.
And
so
this is from the Rise of Kylo Ren.
Yes. So there's the temple. So this is a planet we've seen before, but in comics, which again, I do love how they're bringing comics into this, right? I've said all along that they need to start making this extended universe connected, right? Because right now what they're doing is they've got different groups of fans. They've got the hardcore fans for each individual era. You know, you've got those diehard fans who watched the originals in the theater, right? That hated the prequels, right? Those diehard fans, after having seen the sequel trilogy, are like, the prequel's not so bad, right? But then you have the kids that grew up on the prequels and that grew up on the Clone Wars and that grew up on Rebels that are like, that's my jam, right? And they saw they saw the canon and all of its glory at that point in that era, right? And they had those films, they had those TV shows, they had those books, but they had their different fandoms, right? Different aspects of it. They didn't bring all of that stuff into the TV shows, right? They didn't make them mainstream, essentially. I think that's what they need to do. That's what Dave Filoni is trying to do. I think Jon Favreau is the same thing. And ultimately, Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to bring all of that stuff that they've created in the background forward. And so it's all connected, which is what I think they need to be doing and need to have been doing this whole time. That's just me. That was my tangent alert. Now, Grogu. He wants a frog. Can I say that I'm a little disappointed that the frog only has one eye? I don't know why. But
that's your problem?
That was my problem with this whole scene. I'm like, this is awesome. Grogu's trying to eat the frog. He's trying to sneak in a snack while his master's, whatever. And
a bunch of portal robots building a temple.
Yeah. Nothing like that.
With.
Yeah,
But
I thought that was dope.
Frog, you have a problem.
The one-eyed frog totally pulled me out. Right? I don't know what it was, but that bothered me. Having said that, it was very familiar to me. The training of Grogu, like from Luke, I thought was very familiar to the training of Luke by Yoda. Grogu is impatient.
There was tons of parallel.
Yes. Yeah, oh yeah. He's impatient. He's struggling. He's having a hard time. Right? It's this.
He gets shot in the leg by the training droid.
Yeah. Like, I didn't even think about that. Although I do love that he kicked it like a soccer ball. It's just, that's for the South American audience. Like, it was like, oh yeah, because they football. Oh yeah, that's right. British. We have a British person. I don't know why I didn't even think about that. But yeah,
it's not a British thing. It's it's everyone in the world except America thing.
Yeah, I know.
All right. It's not a British thing. It's just a not American thing.
While we are still the world leader for the next, I don't know, like 6 years, until whatever. I'm not going to make this political. But while we're still the world leader, we're right. Football is thrown, not kicked. Right? And the football is not the World Cup, the final championship. It's this weekend. We're going to see the Super Bowl. Right?
Let's move on.
Anyways. So, but yeah, I love that. I thought it was awesome. It was adorable. It was Grogu being Grogu, right? We saw growth in this, and I thought it was wonderful, right?
It was a training montage. You don't need to be so. It was a training montage, plain and simple. That's all it was. It was a training montage,
plain and simple.
We've gotten tons of montages in this show. Every single week we've had a montage.
And this was a training montage. It just needed an 80s soundtrack.
Although, getting stronger. Wait, no, I'm singing the final countdown.
As you saw him not jump, and then he would jump, and then he really, really jumped, and then and then he wasn't getting shot, and then he's like, "Ooh, yeah, smash the ball." It was training montage.
And then he kills the ball, and it ends up in the water.
That's right. Because let's face it, how many times have you been shot at by something that you're just like, look, I'm done with you?
Never. I don't put myself in situations to be shot at, Neil. Or Thad.
Well, but I mean, if you could, I mean, that's what you would do. I mean, if you had the Force, you'd be like, look, I'm done. Right? He blew it up and kicks it in the water. Yeah. Right? But again, it is a training montage. It is fun. Yes, we definitely need the 80s soundtrack. I think someone does need to do a compilation of that.
I will do it just like I did the Back to the Future one. I will do Eye of the Tiger. I will do a proper. Tiger. I will take
Rocky. It's got to be the one from Rocky.
Yeah, that is Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, that's Eye of the Tiger.
That's Eye of the Tiger.
I thought it was called Gonna Fly Now.
Gonna fly now.
No. That's the it's Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, it's Eye of the Tiger.
Bill Conti, Gonna Fly Now, theme from Rocky. Eye of the Tiger was by Survivor.
That's not the training montage.
Yeah, the training montage is Eye of the Tiger.
The training montage is Eye of the Tiger. The tune that you're talking about is the running montage, where he starts off running with nobody, and then the kids join in, and then more kids join in, and he runs to the tops of the stairs and starts. That's the running montage, not the training montage.
Okay.
Talking about the training montage where he's chasing the chicken and he's punching the meat, and, different music for different montages.
Hey, Nev, we are 26 minutes into this episode, but you don't need to talk about punching meat, right? Come on, man. Still children.
I need to get my drink. I'll be
right. For the children, Nev. Oh, and Solomon, we are going to have to talk about that at the end of the show. That is a very good question.
Yeah, we'll do a poll. We'll do a poll for this. We'll put some characters in a poll for this one.
Yeah. So
and then we'll put some characters in a poll for next week's show, and then we'll do a runoff between the winners of the two polls.
Yeah. So
I come back and we're talking about polls.
Yeah. Well, we left when you were talking about punching meat, and so it was just the next logical progression. Oh, it's a good thing. Never mind. I was going to say it's a good thing we're not Spotify. I might start having to be. Anyways, I apologize.
Yeah, John Williams will pull his music because
of you. Yeah, he'll pull our music. Or pull his music. Oh. If John Williams ever acknowledged me, I think I'd be okay with that. I'd be like, done! I'm done! Thank you, John Williams. Anyways, so, it is a training montage. I thought there were a lot of really cool moments. It was neat to see Ahsoka. I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures, but like the way that live action Ahsoka is being portrayed, I feel like is in absolute step with the way that she was in the cartoon, right? Her movements, her mannerisms, like she has done a phenomenal job of bringing Ahsoka to life. I don't know. What were your thoughts?
It was okay.
She's doing great.
Yeah, it was okay.
I just, I love the Clerks 2 meme that I saw is with Rosario Dawson / Ahsoka Tano.
Yes.
Saying to Din, you never go ass to mouth.
You never go ass to mouth.
Never go ass to mouth. Right.
Yeah, no, look, there's no need to be. Oh my God, it's just she was in it.
No, but it was more than that. Like
no, it wasn't. It really wasn't. You're making a mountain out of a molehill on this.
That's what I do, Nev.
It's a good character. And she delivered her lines. She did what she was supposed to do. There's nothing spectacular about it or monumental about it. It's just she's there. She's in the scene. She plays her part, and we move on to the next one.
All right. So
it was.
I believed it was Ahsoka Tano.
Okay, I'm the only one who's starstruck by this. Anyways,
yeah, you are. Unnecessarily starstruck by her being in the episode.
So this is where we get the choice. Okay, this moment, Luke's like, I don't know if his heart's in it. right? But let's face it, was Luke's heart in it? No, he wasn't. Is Grogu gonna rush off to save his friends, just like Luke did? Yes, clearly, because that's
no, he isn't. I still say he's gonna go for the lightsaber.
It's so. I think it was Star Wars. It could have been Star Wars speculation or Star Wars. I can't remember which guy it was, but there's a video out there that talks about the choice here, and essentially it's presented as two choices, but there's multiple choices here. It's a false dichotomy. You can either have the chainmail, the space mithril, as it were, or you can have Yoda's lightsaber, which as a collector, I really want Yoda's lightsaber. Like, I'd have been like, all right, give me the lightsaber. I wouldn't immediately put it up to my eye and like, what does this look like inside? But there is a third choice, right? Can he have both? Luke says no, but I still think that that's still an option, right? There's still a moment where he says...
You mean one of those lightsabers?
Yeah, one of those. Right?
One of the ones that are being collected?
By the Inquisitores. Yeah. But like, I think that's the case. I think because of all of the like what Paul said, all of the similarities, all of the parallels from
and then they were burned?
Yes, but Yoda's wasn't
then they
burned.
Exploded?
Yoda's wasn't burned.
Yes, it was.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
How do you know? Is it say?
Do you understand, Lord Vader? Yes, could have given me any one of those lightsabers to corrupt, even Yoda's, but you did not.
That means he could have found Yoda's.
He did find Yoda's. It was collected on Coruscant.
So you're saying this is not Yoda's lightsaber?
This is not Yoda's lightsaber. Original lightsaber.
This is as previously said earlier on. This is Dave Filoni's playground. He can play with whatever toys he likes in his episodes. If that's Yoda's lightsaber, it's Yoda's lightsaber. End of story. Because Dave Filoni says so.
Yes, I'm with Nev on this one. I very seldomly agree with Nev.
You didn't? Did you not take? You didn't read into the subtle sarcasm there at all? Did you?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't pick up on that at all.
No.
At the end of the day, yes, Dave Filoni likes dragging stuff in from extended universe and comics, but if he doesn't want to and he just wants to throw something in there that he wants to throw something in there, that's what he's going to do. Whether it makes sense or not is completely and utterly irrelevant. It's his playground, and if he just wants to pull something out of his ass and throw it in there, even though it makes no sense canonically or non-canonically, he's still gonna do it.
But he'll make it make sense canonically. Filoni does that all the time.
That lightsaber that Luke's offering Grogu did not need to be Yoda's.
But he said that it was.
That was Darth Vader number
all
one.
right, thank you.
Number one. What's that? When's that from? 2016 or 15?
This was
15,
2000.
Right? Or was it 17?
I think this was 17.
Because Darth Vader came,
September 2017.
But it's that. See, here's the thing: the whole Yoda's lightsaber thing is still something that grates with me. It's like, why does it have to be Yoda's lightsaber? Because to me, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't need to be. It just needs to be a lightsaber.
No, and I agree with that. But like I feel like it being Yoda's lightsaber, I felt like connected. Now, he does bring this choice, and then he leaves it at this, right? He leaves the that's where, and when I say he, I mean Filoni. He leaves this scene with with Grogu and Mando with the choice unanswered. Now, before we completely move on, we do have to talk a little bit about the flashback, right? So in this moment, in the training montage, we saw a lot of really cool things that took place. One of the coolest ones was we saw Order 66 carried out and the attack on the Jedi Temple, as seen from the perspective of Grogu. But what's interesting about this was there's a lot of stuff that's left open, right? We don't know where he was seeing it. It looked very first person, like he was there and the other Jedi were like, being awesome and defending him right in front of him. I've heard a lot of different rumors. Maybe he was watching this on a monitor in another room. Jocasta Nu had pulled him aside and took him into one of the, there's a lot of theories that are going out there, but you see 3 Jedi, 2 Jedi, Guardians, I believe, that are there, fighting off the, doing their thing. And then you see what looks like kind of like Jocasta Nu.
I thought so too.
I
thought so too, but she was not killed until...
She wasn't killed until much later. She actually is hunted down by Vader. Hold on.
I'm looking for it too. Oh, number 9.
Yeah. So it's a really cool episode. Like, and my thought is this is also why you never want to piss off a librarian. Ever. Right? All the librarians I've ever known have been nice, but you don't mess with their libraries. Period. And so we've got this moment. We're going through and he sees this. Now, on the wall, let me see if I can bring it up. On the wall, as they're doing this fight scene, here we go. Let me find this image. There's off to the right, just above the right hand shoulder of Grogu, or not Grogu, of this Jedi that we're seeing, is an image or a symbol of Barriss Offee, or it's Barriss Offee's symbol.
The office that she had that crest on it.
Yes. Now, like, we know that Barriss was a traitor, but we also know that she survived through the end of episode 3, right? So whatever happened to Barriss, like, the Jedi kind of forgave her. Or just was like, hey, we need you, come help, right? Yeah, you may have accidentally killed a bunch of people or purposefully killed a bunch of people because you were
bombed the temple.
The temple. You may have destroyed a sacred thing, but one thing I haven't noticed is the opposite side. No one has pointed out to me or even talked about what's on the opposite side. Is that Barriss Offee's symbol as well?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's on both sides of the hall.
It's on both sides. I'm looking at 13 minutes, 38 seconds into the episode.
Yeah.
Is that shot that it came from. With the line, Jedi 2 Grunts. That's the subtitle at that time.
Jedi 2 Grunts. But what's interesting about this is it is Barriss Offee. Now, that is fascinating.
None of them... none of the Jedi were recognizable at all.
Yeah, not a one. Do we know what color saber Barriss had? Blue, right?
I believe blue.
Right. It looks like, and I can't tell if that's accurate, but it looks like that could be no. So here's the second image of that same shot. Let me bring it up real quick.
Wait a minute.
Okay, but one of the lightsabers held, and this I don't want to say that this is accurate because it might not be. But are you watching the episode right now, Paul?
I'm going back to watch that. It's at 13 minutes 15 seconds.
Is it accurate that we have a blue lightsaber to the left?
There is a blue lightsaber to the left.
Barriss Offee's lightsaber is blue, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
So maybe this was one of the. I mean, and again, this is not necessarily a major Easter egg. It's not. I mean, whether this is Barriss Offee or some other Jedi, it doesn't matter. What this is it shows the horror that a young Grogu experienced early in life, right? And part of the reason why he's blocked out so many of those memories and so many of those thoughts, right? And even during the training montage afterwards with Ahsoka, she's like, he's got a great teacher, and his response is, it's more like he's remembering than anything else, than me teaching him, right? Now again, we're brought to this idea, with this choice, and it's like, hey, you have to choose one or the other. Now, if he chooses to stay, right? Now, I feel like this is Luke Skywalker's like timeshare sales pitch, right? I've given you the experience. I've walked you through what life of a Jedi will look like. I've let you see what training will be. If you stay, you will be my first student. That's what he says. Right? Ahsoka says it as well. He will be, if Luke trains him, he will be the first student of this Jedi temple.
The first student
at the temple.
Jedi temple.
Yeah.
Not the first student of Luke Skywalker. That needs to be.
Is it?
Yes, that needs to be explained.
So go off on that, Paul.
So we know that Leia was Luke's first student, but the first student of the temple was Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Or Ben Solo.
Ben Solo, right. Now, the theory that a lot of people, and not even the theory, like Grogu's choice has a huge reverse mortgage for Baby Yoda. Awesome. He does. He has a huge, thank you, Run, for that. He has a huge choice to make. And this choice hangs in the balance, or the sequel canon hangs in the balance of this choice. If Grogu takes Luke up and becomes Nev's giving me a funny look, and I'll give him a moment to explain. If Grogu takes the lightsaber, then Ben Solo was no longer Luke's first student at the temple, which means the events in the sequel trilogy timeline, which it took place in a different timeline, right? If, however, he goes with the Mandalorian, if he takes the space mithril, then it's very possible that the sequel timeline continues. Now, Nev, you made a face. I got to give you a moment. What are you thinking?
I've told you this before. The timeline isn't going to change until we get the episode in the Veil of the Force, where somebody goes back through the mirror to Death Star 2 and stops Palpatine from escaping to the planet. That's the point where the timeline will diverge, but that's not for donkey's years. They can do what Filoni and Favreau can do what the hell they want up to that point. It doesn't matter. The new timeline won't be created until they stop Palpatine using the Veil of the Force, which will probably happen in Ahsoka's show. I don't know. It could be season 2 or 3 or 4. It depends.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be, obviously, it's the big culmination that will occur 8 years from now, you know, at the end of their 10-year plan. The big culmination. But at that big culmination, that'll be when They stop Palpatine from escaping the Death Star. And somebody will go to the Death Star through one of those doors, using the Veil of the Force, destroy his room, stopping Palpatine from escaping, and saving billions and billions and billions of people's lives. That's when the timeline.
Of the Hosnian system.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when the timeline. That's when the new timeline gets created.
Yeah.
Right, and that's when Dave and John will be like, right, we've got all of these characters, and we can do a boatload of new stories with them.
Yeah.
Better stories.
Yeah. Now,
more interactive stories, more interesting stories. Same characters. Yeah, same characters, different stories.
Now, I think you are on the right. What time will tell, I think, is the short answer to that. But I do think that this is a very crucial moment for the future. Whether the future of just this show, I mean, it clearly is for the future of this show, for Mandalorian Season 3. I really want to see Grogu as the Mandalorian Jedi carrying the Darksaber, because that would be awesome.
It would be too heavy for him. We know that it gets heavier.
I don't know. Like, he's got his Oreos in one hand and the Darksaber in the other, right? On a side note, what he could do is he could be in that little baby carriage and use that as like a chariot of sorts. You know?
He's gonna joust?
Yeah, joust with the Darksaber. I don't know. Like, I do. Here's my favorite.
Why do we do this, Nev?
Because you know that I'm right, and you know that it would be awesome. But this is the baby Yoda that I think that we are finally going to see. Not yet necessarily. I'm gonna cover up. Hold on, I'll cover myself up. I'll take the hit on this one. This is the baby Yoda that I want. Boom, right there.
Are you stealing memes again?
No, it's not a meme. This is someone's artwork, right? It's Baby Yoda in full Beskar, right? His ears are uncovered. He's essentially Mando, but with Baby Yoda, right? And then, of course, carrying the Darksaber. The Darksaber, not the Darth Saber. I don't see why that would be a problem. I think that would be dope.
I don't see the Darksaber on him.
It's not.
The Darksaber's as long as half his body.
I know, but like, he's jousting with it. Anyways, one way or the other, I think it would be cool to see the Mandalorians and the Jedi join forces in the concept of Baby Yoda, right? Whether he takes the role of a Jedi or he takes the role of the Mandalorian or of a Mandalorian, he is still a Force-using Mandalorian right now because he was a foundling who has Force powers.
What if he chooses the armor, and then while Luke has his back turned, he Force pulls the lightsaber to him?
And what if Luke lets it happen?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. He's going to take, right? He's going to choose the lightsaber, right?
Yeah.
And I'm 100% settled on him choosing the lightsaber. And the reason why I think he's going to choose the lightsaber is I think something's going to happen, and Luke's going to be like, okay, put this on.
So he'll give him.
So he's protected. So he's got an extra layer of protection, and Luke doesn't have to watch him like a hawk.
And then murders Darth Grogu.
Darth Grogu.
So Grogu's going to choose the lightsaber,
but there
will be an occurrence, and Luke won't, and Luke will, realize, oh, hang on, a situation will arise in the episode that makes Luke think, you know what, he needs a little bit of protection because he doesn't actually know how to use a lightsaber because I haven't trained him to use a lightsaber or showed him how to remember how to use a lightsaber. So best, err on the side of caution and put the Space Mithril.
Yeah. I saw what Mando did with the Darksaber, or I saw him limping because of the Darksaber. I could see that Grogu might need a little extra help.
Rule of two says, anyone find it odd we're babbling about Boba and we haven't said Boba once. Now I'm going to say this. For those who know about the Book of Mormon, Mormon's not in every single chapter. It's okay.
That's true. That's true. Jesus isn't in every... Well, he's in a lot of them. But... Anyways, what was I saying?
He's nowhere near. He's not even. He doesn't even get a look in the Old Testament.
That's true. That's true. Like in the prequel, right, which is the Old Testament.
Exactly. The Old Testament is like it's the
right?
it's the Bible's prequel. So there is no Jesus
I loved
Christ.
episode 3.
Oh, episode 3 was dope.
Yeah.
Right when he comes and he came back and he rained fire and he killed all the Elon Musk's, cyborgs and all of Jeff Bezos's robots. Yeah.
See, the Old Testament was revenge of the Sith because cutting babies in half and salting the earth and doing real nasty things to people. It's like, prove yourself to me. Let yourself get totally effed up, and then that shows me how much you love me. It's like, okay.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Lot the Wise?
Lot the Wise.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Leviticus?
I don't know, man. I heard Lot's wife was salty. I just feel, I don't know. She was. All right, we've got religious too much. Anyways, where were we? Joe, Run DMV, thank you for the bits. I think you're right. I've been trying to type that, but my ADHD is acting up. Darksaber is rightfully Boba's. I think we'll see. I think the answer. I think he's right. But Boba who is a better question because we haven't really seen much. Now, Grogu's going to decide. We'll figure out what happens in the next episode. Probably just less than 4 hours from now. Now,
just over 4 hours.
Just over 4 hours from now. Now, with that, we have a return to Tatooine, right? Or, as I like to call it, New Mandalore, because I think that's what we're going to see. Tatooine is going to get
Tatooine's going to get glassed?
No, I think it's going to get a rebirth. It is going to be the place where Mandalorians reunite, and the people of Mandalore will flock to the sands of Tatooine, and everyone will live in space harmony. I don't know, something to that effect. But I do think it's going to be a new Mandalore, especially because if what I'm predicting, which is Boba Fett becomes the new Mandalore, right? And in essence, that's what he's trying to do, but he's not doing it as the Mandalorians. He's doing it as a crime boss. He's trying to build a family, right? But that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He's trying to build a family. A crime family, but a family. What better way to do that than to bring back Mandalore?
It's not ruthless enough.
It doesn't have to be ruthless enough.
No, he's not ruthless enough to be a crime lord.
That's my point. But he's benevolent enough to be a Mandalore.
He's not gonna. He is going to be a background character. I said this last week. He's going to be the Incredible Hulk. He's not a Captain America. He's not a Tony Stark. He's not a Thor. He's an Incredible Hulk. He's not the you love to see him and you want to see him in stuff and you want to see him in shows and you want to see him doing stuff, but he's not the lead. He's not the one running the show. Mando is the one running the show. Ahsoka. These are the main characters in this universe, not Boba Fett. Fett will be there from time to time, but he is not being built up to be anything close to that. He'll be there to help. He'll be there to give assistance.
So I agree with you that he's not necessarily a major character. It's these other characters, and that's why we're seeing a lead in with the man. That's why the Mando has been brought in so often. I worry about that, Bones. Bones says that there's a rumor that there's a lot more Vespa action in the finale. Oh,
there's also a rumor of other things.
Yeah, we'll get to rumors here in a bit. But
thing is, it's normally I'm all for listening to rumors because I was game for listening to rumors definitely last year around September, October, November time, but since the show started, I haven't really gone looking for it because it's like I don't think any rumors are gonna make me feel any differently about the show. So
yeah, no, I'm excited for the rumors, but we'll talk about rumors here in a second. But he gets back. He shows back up and he walks in and on a briefing. Fenneck Shand, right? So this is before this was saying. I think you're right about the background character. I think, but instead of the Hulk, I think he is Samuel L. Jackson. I think he's
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury.
You think he's a Nick?
I do. As not in
Nick Fury's
purpose,
Nick Fury's
not
more
in presentation.
Right, because I was about to say Nick Fury's even more ancillary than the Hulk.
Yeah, no, in purpose, I think that's what he is. I don't think in presentation that's what he will be.
Right.
Right. But I agree though that he's not necessarily this major crime boss, right? A lot has to change, right? Now, he walks back in. Mando, this is Mando. He walks back in and says very little. Boba says nothing. Fennec is giving this entire spiel saying, hey, this is everything that we need to do, everything that's going on. But now that we have Black Chrysanthemum, now that we have the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, we have our trained muscle to help us out. Right?
Yeah.
2 people.
It's going to be such an awesome war.
Yeah.
With a handful of people stood around a table.
2 people. Versus an entire syndicate.
Couple of decent foot soldiers and some mods.
Now, Solomon Grundy points out, he's like, she's technically a badass, and he'd follow her any day. Now, when you have a solid leader like a Fenneck Shand, yeah, I'd follow her, because otherwise, if I were facing off against her, I'd be too afraid I'd get murdered. Because I know that Fennec would kill me.
Which reminds me of something. No, sorry, it's just like follow it.
Yeah,
it just reminds me something that my squadron sergeant major said to our troop OC in Iraq back in 2003 once. Yeah, he said if they don't follow your orders, Mom, they'll definitely follow your ass.
Yeah,
And I would definitely follow that ass.
I know you wouldn't have.
Ming-Na is so hot.
She's so
hot.
She is the Disney trifecta.
She kicks ass and she looks good and she can act. It's perfect.
And she's also in Marvel. She's also in Star Wars, and she's also Mulan.
Yep.
Oh, God,
she's a princess, Disney princess.
She, in my eyes, she is definitely.
So this is where Star Wars 95's point comes in. He said in one of my videos that he believes that the Jawas are actually going to also play a part in the defense of Tatooine.
That'd be cool.
So as Din is like, yeah, hey, I know some guys that could help with that, right? And it shows him flying his ship to Freetown, right? But as he's flying over to Freetown, he sees the Jawa's crawler, and we know that this is the Jawa team, the Jawa crew that he helped get the egg for in Mandalore season 1, right? Way back in there, right? Right. And so like they probably still have a little bit of a grudge because he did disintegrate a few of them, which was awesome. But we know that it's them because why? They have the crate skull, right, on their thing. And so we see him flying, and like he's just spinning around. Now that could simply be, he was traveling by, and the Jawas just happened to be by Freetown, Or it could have been he was leaving those Jawas, and he was then going to Freetown as well, right? I honestly think that we are going to see them come back in, and part of the reason why is because I don't think it's just going to be the Jawas. I think it's going to be the Tuskens. I think it's going to be the Jawas.
Oh,
I do, because
just stop.
Because
okay?
if you look,
it's unnecessary for them to do an episode 9. Everybody flies in.
No,
let's just have 1,000 ships all fly in at the same time.
It's Disney.
It can't be. Let's just have all the Jawas and all the Tuskens. Look, here's the thing.
They're all going to play their parts.
They only need a handful more of people, and the reason why I'm saying they only need a handful more of people is look what Mando and IG-11 did. Just two, and Mando and IG-11. Look what they did to that crew when Mando was actually going to get Baby Yoda.
Oh,
I
agree.
They rocked up.
I agree.
At that small town. They took out like 20 to 30 guys between the two of them. Right? It doesn't need to be this great, big, massive crowd because we know that the man and he didn't even have Beskar armor then.
No, I agree.
Beskar armor now, so I do. The numbers. I mean, yes, the number. I mean, if it was hundreds, then yes, that would be slightly unrealistic. I don't think it's going to be in the hundreds.
And
it's going to be boring. It's going to be a ground fight. It's going to be a couple of, it's going to be a handful on one side crew with the crew on the other side. Cad Bane's going to be on that side. Maybe they're going to throw in a couple more old school bounty hunters on their side as well. There's going to be a couple of guys from Freetown with Mando and all of that lot. But to say all of the Jar, it doesn't sit with me. I mean, granted, before this show even started, I said that this was going to culminate in some great, big, massive, underworld war, and all we're going to get is some pathetic little battle. All we're going to get is a gunfight.
Yeah,
not entirely dissimilar to something like what we saw when the Mando was trying to escape from the what was the planet where the Carl Weathers was the
Navarro
King? Navarro, when he was, it's going to be that type of battle where you had all of the Mandos fighting that's the type of battle we're going to see. All right. Which I think would be, it's going to be a bit of a letdown because my expectations were of something much more grandiose, but that's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be that level. It's the whole battle is going to take part on Mos Espa, and it's going to be two crews roughly. And that's, with some one-on-one battles in there,
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think this is going to be an in-game style fight. And I think what you were saying earlier about this culminating in a grand battle, I think it will culminate, just not this season. I don't think this season.
It's going to be another 8. That big culmination. That's 8 years away.
That's down the road.
That's several seasons of various different shows away.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though, is this is people defending their turf. Star Wars 95 points out, he's like, natives should help defend their turf too, though. That's all I was saying. And I think that's part of what Boba saw in that vision, right? He saw the tree, which represented the Tuskens, right? Because he took the gaffy stick. But then he saw all the red eyes. I don't think that we're going to, like, this is an Old West style show, right? We definitely saw it at the end of this one, right? Old West. Well, what's going on? Well, the big corporations coming in and trying to take over the planet. Here they're running drugs. The settlers, the villagers, the townspeople have to step up, and
so it's like the Three Amigos.
Yes, that's the culmination. This battle of Mos Espa, which will be the final battle here, will be.
So they're all going to dress up like the Mandalorian.
Yeah, of course. right? I'm the Mandalorian. No, I'm the Mandalorian. They don't have that much Beskar to go around. Well, maybe the Jawas do. I don't know, but but that's what I think is going to happen, because you have, and I think that's Nev. I actually think that's the most apt description of what this is most likely going to be like, right? The Mando
fight scene at the end of the Three Amigos.
Yeah, because here's the thing. We know there's at least dozens of people from the Pike Syndicate coming in, probably more that we don't know about, right? I don't believe that it's just the Mando and Black Chrysanthemum that are these leaders, right? Who are they leading? They're leading other people, and I think that's going to be the Tuskens and the Jawas.
I do think, there'll definitely be some. There'll definitely be some others there. I mean, the mods ain't going to do squat.
Yeah.
The mods ain't going to do squat. There's going to be some other.
Yeah.
There'll be some other guns for hire.
Yeah.
Some cell swords.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's going to be some cell swords and some other bounty hunters in there that Fenneck will have hired, because she'll have flown around and gone to bars and pubs and
sure
to cantinas to look for to look and hire talent.
Yeah.
So there's red shirts. There's gonna be a bunch of red shirts.
And those are the Jawas. They're just gonna be the brown cloaks.
All right. After this, we end up going to Freetown, formerly Mos Espa.
No, Mos Espa's the town they're in. It's Mos Peligo or something like that.
Mos Peligo, that's right.
Right.
And
which I think is Spanish for like more dangerous.
The Peligro.
The Peligro.
And Mando doesn't care. He just parks the Naboo Starfighter. Valet parking.
Well, it's not valet parking. It's the handicap spot.
Yeah.
He parked in the handicap spot, right? And the cop's like, "Whoa, buddy, no." And Mando's like, "I don't care who are you? What are you? Why are you talking to me? Do you know who I am?" I love that. Paul, keep going though.
Then he's like, "I'm here to see Cobb Vanth." And he's like, "I don't think you heard me." Mando replies, "I heard you. I'm here to see Cobb Vanth."
Yeah, I just don't care. And then I gotta say, I love the look that Cobb's like, he's new. he's not even gonna last the episode. Like, he's
this episode's red shirt.
Yeah, he's this episode's red shirt. And but here's the thing. I do love that Cobb Vanth goes in. They have their drink. Cobb's again the only one drinking. And Martin Short has to be a Jawa. He is tiny. Cobb's like, "Look, my people have fought. You and I were square."
Then he'd be Martin Tusken.
We're square. We have no problems, but I can't ask my people to go and do this. Right? That bartender's like, that's a townie problem. That's not for us. And then, he points this out. He's like, "Look, it is a town problem. But one day, you're going to have to deal with it. This will be a Tatooine problem." And I like how Mando addresses Cobb here. He's like, "It's not easy asking for a favor."
Yeah, I love that line.
That was a cool moment, right? Because it shows me that there's depth to the Mando, right? He's not just going to go and he's going to bully. He's going to be like, "Well, you owe me, right?" Or, "I'm changing the parameters of the deal." I just totally butchered a very famous Star Wars line. But
I altered the deal. I'm afraid that I don't alter it any further.
Right. But they're squaresies, Mando and Cobb. And it's like, "Look, we just need help. And one day this will come to you." And that one day is now. As soon as Mando leaves, although I gotta say, isn't it adorable that everyone's like, where's Grogu? Where's the kid? Even Cobb was like, "Where's your kid?" And he's like, he's with his own kind, right? He's with the Jedi. And And the response was, I guess we both lost something we love. Right? But the response here is...
I find your lack of Grogu disturbing.
Yes. I want to see the baby. Show me the baby. So as Mando flies out, right? He's made his offer. He said his piece. In walks a man from the desert.
As soon as I saw that, I'm thinking, a fistful of dollars. I was thinking the music from A Fistful of Dollars.
Well, I did a video just recently, just yesterday, and I've been thinking about this a long time. And who is Cad Bane? Cad Bane was designed by Dave Filoni to be an imitation of Angel Eyes from A Fistful, from that trilogy, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, right?
It's doable. It's not a trilogy. It's a duology. Fistful of Dollars and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah,
there's a third, right?
But yes, there's a third, but it's completely out of sequence with everything that's in the first two.
No, okay, but I mean, but that's my point, right? It's from that show, right?
It's from that genre and that genre. Era.
Yeah,
Same genre, same era, but not part of a trilogy.
Okay, that's all right. Okay,
Part of the story. How soon did you recognize that it was Cad Bane?
It took me
immediately.
It took me a sec because
immediately.
The hat. On being honest, you noticed the hat.
Yeah.
At the farthest shot.
Yeah, the hat. It was immediate.
My mind.
That's Cad. But here's the thing. This is Dave Filoni's episode, so you've got to think. That's it. If this wasn't Dave Filoni's episode, I've been like, ooh, is that Cad Bane? But it's Dave Filoni's episode, so of course it's Cad Bane.
No, so because here's my mind. Here's where I was thinking. We had just come off our conversation the night before. There was a promise, a debate that was thrown out, right, about Cara Dune. And so my thought was like, Cara? Is that you? What are you doing on like there's no way. I was thinking like there's no way. Right? But when he got closer.
Okay, so there's a very, very far shot. That's when I went where I noticed the coat. The coat is what made me go, is that Cad? And then the second shot where they showed him and you could see the hat.
Yeah.
That's when I go, that's Cad.
Oh yeah. I was kind of hoping that he would be in this, I was not prepared. I was so excited. I
wish I didn't know that it was Dave Filoni's episode.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I wish that I didn't, because I'm thinking, okay, so this is Dave Filoni's episode. So what would Dave Filoni do in his episode? He's going to put his characters in his. So if I didn't know that it was, I would have been more shocked and more surprised. But as soon as I saw Cad Bane, I'm like, of course it's Cad Bane. It's Dave Filoni's episode.
I don't pay attention to any of that going into anything. I don't care who the director is. I'm just coming for a story.
Same. So
I went in and I went, man, this has been a really fun episode to watch so far. Yeah. And then this happens and I went.
Thank you for bleeping that. Oh my gosh. I loved it. I loved it. Now, I loved everything about this. I loved the CG. I loved Luke. I loved everything going into this. I was a little disappointed with Cad. Not the acting, just the prosthetics. And the hat.
Okay.
I wanted the hat to be bigger.
Right here, you have Christopher Lee as Count Dooku, right?
Yeah.
That's Count Dooku as well, right?
True.
They look nothing alike.
So,
I present to you evidence B.
they look pretty close.
Yeah, Cad Bane looks more like Cad Bane than Dooku looked like Dooku.
And you're right. Leaper, Run, thank you for the donation. And you're right. Cad Bane at this point is in his 70s, early 80s. He is not a spring chicken, right? He is not a young man.
Do you know how long his species lives?
It's humanoid-like the Duros, but it's not
Duros.
Like I looked it up, and they said that when you're venerable age, when you're an old respectable person, it's like 70 to 80. So I assume 120 years tops, 150. I tried to find an exact.
Same as us, 70 years old.
Yeah.
Middle age is 36 to 49.
So in the Clone Wars, Cad was not a spring chicken. Clone Wars, he was 50s. So the discoloration, it makes sense, but like it was a little disappointing at parts. Oh, will he have the rocket boots? Oh, Cad Bane. Now, I loved this because he walks in and he delivers his ultimatum, right? Cad, if not anything.
Okay.
Go ahead.
When is this? What exactly? How many years after Yavin is this, Neil?
Well, it's
6.
6 years after Yavin.
Approximately 6 years.
He is 68 at this point. He was born 62 BBY.
So he's 68?
He's 68.
Oh, so he was a lot younger then. He was in his 30s when he was doing his stuff in the Clone Wars.
Correct.
Okay.
He was born 62 BBY.
So he was in his 30s during the Clone Wars. Early Clone Wars, we see, or at the end of Clone Wars, we see the Empire rise, and that's when we saw Cad Bane in the Bad Batch. Right? So he's probably in his 40s then, as the Bad Batch, the last time he faced off against Fenneck Shand. Or at least we saw him face off against Fenneck Shand. So yeah, so he's in his 70s. So that's a good point. So it shows that the species is, I don't know, like when I think of that, I'm not as disappointed, right? When I think he's aged really well. If I look that blue when I'm 68, I'll feel happy, right? If I'm that spry when I'm his age, I'll feel like I've accomplished something. If I'm that spry in a year, I'll feel like I've accomplished something.
Now listen up. Here's a story about a little guy that lives in a blue world.
Okay.
All day and all night. See where I'm going? Yeah, okay,
yes,
you just got it. Okay. Everything he sees is blue. Like him, inside and outside.
Oh, dabba-dee-dabba-da. Paul. Anyways, so we have this moment. He's professional, right? He walks in, he's like, don't stick your nose where it belongs. If you stay out, we will. If you stay out, we'll match what he's paying. And he's like, we're not paying anything. Who are you? Now keep in mind, like, Cobb Vanth is the lawman out here. He is like, he's not going to take a bribe from Cad Bane, right? And he's doing his stuff. He's talking his piece, and I love that Cad's like, don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong, right? And then the deputy, like an idiot, like we all saw this coming. We knew that he was a red shirt. I'm actually now curious. I want to look up, was he wearing a red shirt?
The deputy?
Yeah.
The deputy was wearing a brown brown vest with a light gray shirt.
Okay.
Cobb Vanth was wearing a
red shirt.
Was wearing a red shirt and a red handkerchief.
Yeah. Right.
But he took a shot to the shoulder. Meanwhile, Cad Bane shot the sheriff and the deputy.
He
and
shot
the deputy was shot multiple times.
Yeah.
But Cobb Vanth only once.
Yeah. He shot. Well, I mean, because think about it, right? You're going to shoot the one guy and disarm him and then kill the other dude, right? if you don't get a good shot, you're going to shoot again, right? So, but yeah, so we get this moment, and he walks off. Before he walks off, and he says,
as long as the spice keeps running, everyone will be left alone."
Yep. Right. Great moment. Now, we did skip something. The Pikes had a hit.
No, that was after.
Was it?
That was after Cad Bane.
That was after, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was before. I thought it was the leading up to Cad Bane. Okay, so Cad walks off. We see some more Pikes walk into.
Well, we don't. One thing I don't want to skip over is the fact that I believe that Vanth is going to survive this.
I think so too,
because they called for a stim, which is, would nurse somebody back to health. They didn't call for a coffin.
That's true.
They didn't call for an ambulance. They called for immediate medical assistance.
Yeah. And I also love that they totally just like threw the other guy to the. He's like, he's dead. He's dead. Let's go after the one we care about. Right. This marshal's assistant or assistant to the marshal, which is probably more like it.
Deputy.
Well, I know, but was he a real deputy or was he the assistant?
He called him deputy.
Yeah, I know, but
he did call him deputy.
I know, but I was trying to make a joke. Thank you, Nev, for ruining it.
Fell on deaf ears.
It totally did. I mean, I understood it, but my audience didn't, or at least you didn't, Nev. Yeah. So I think he's going to survive. I do too. I think that he will. I think that this is going to be a continue. This is my thought that it will be a continuation of towns, right? That the Mandalore or Boba, right? Boba will essentially create a Tatooine that's unified, right? These people working for him, and then he'll go out and start ruling different parts of the galaxy. Eventually, once he gets some more screen time. Now, having said that, anything that I missed on this part before I move off?
Nope.
Okay.
No, you can go to the next. You can go to the next bit where Dave Filoni read my mind.
Yeah. And what was that, Nev?
I said it in the first episode, didn't I? You mocked me for saying, don't get on Nev's bad side because he will just blow things up. What did I say that Boba should have done?
Walk in and blow up the...
He should have blown it, and they're like, yeah, but there's people in there. It's like, yeah, and?
Yeah.
Crime boss. Crime bosses are ruthless.
Yeah.
They kill people.
Yes, they do.
He chose to kill nobody, which is why people look at him and go, he's a pussy.
A benevolent
big
leader.
Old putty tap. But these guys walked in with a bomb, put it down, walked out, and blew the whole shagging joint up.
In the ice cream maker, nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's face it. This was a dry ice bomb. Right? They were making ice cream.
More than dry ice.
Yeah. Dry ice and like thermite or something. I don't know. Like they killed him. Right? They blew up this place. Did the hot Twi'lek survive?
I'll tell you,
hope
Max
so.
Rebo
I really,
survived.
really hope so.
Max Rebo survived because Max Rebo was not in the band at the time.
Max Rebo is Max Rebo an inside man? Is Max Rebo working for the Pikes?
Max Rebo did episode 6.
Oh.
The cantina was blown up because the cantina is sympathetic towards Boba.
Boba. Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
If I was going up against Boba, I would be blowing up and killing anybody that's sympathetic towards him.
Oh, yeah.
Like everything. It scorched earth policy. I would just blow it all up.
I think we're going to see more of that in tomorrow's episode.
That cantina does not serve the Pike's interests.
Not anymore, it doesn't.
So it doesn't need to be there. So
No.
you blow it up.
Yeah.
Do they pay the Pike's tribute? No.
Well,
I mean, sure, some of their spice customers probably go there, but the spice that they're being sold in that cantina probably isn't the Pike's spice. It's probably not. You know, they're getting their drugs from somewhere else.
Yeah, possibly. Sadness. I hope the hot Twi'lek survived.
I really, really hope the hot Twi'lek survived.
She was standing in front. There's no possible way.
Yeah, I don't think she did. She was
forensics in this situation. The laws of physics. She did not survive with the fireball that came out that front door and her proximity to the Canto bomb and her.
Let's not talk about physics. Let's not talk about physics.
It is Star Wars.
Because if
anything could happen.
If we're talking about physics, that would make Lando Calrissian the strongest person in the entire galaxy, because the Sarlacc could pull down Slave One, but not Lando Calrissian. So let's not go towards that. Let's avoid the physics line. Or Lando Calrissian is the strongest, the strongest humanoid.
Lando Calrissian has the Force, secret Force user. That's why he's so good at gambling. He can read.
He's not. He's a cheat.
Well, I mean, one person's cheat could be the Force. We don't know.
Once again, Bones says this is Filoni's episode. He can do whatever he wants.
Exactly.
That's
he
right.
Can do whatever he wants.
He can do what he wants. All right. So
screw you guys. I make it up.
Screw you guys. Screw you guys. I'm putting in Yoda's lightsaber. Back to tank for this episode. Half full, half. Where are we at?
Well, we didn't get. Well, I mean, we talked about it a little bit about the choice.
We did talk about
the last. Yeah,
the choice wasn't the last part.
The choice was the last part.
The last scene was the choice.
The last scene was the choice.
Oh, that's right. That's
but
right.
We covered it. I mean,
yeah, Maul died 6 times. Anything can happen. He was cut in half, and he survived. Although I will say, I've not tried this, nor will I ever try this, but I'm pretty sure that most teenage girls, if you were to bisect them, they would survive just by spite.
All right, I just really
don't ever try that, but
yeah, and also don't let your work know that you just said that.
That's also true. My daughter tonight, my 6-year-old who usually eats a Happy Meal, was like, "Dad, I want a 10-piece chicken nugget." I'm like, "You're 6, right?" She finished 5.5 chicken nuggets, and I looked at her and I was like, "Hey, kid, you didn't finish all your chicken nuggets." She looked at me like, "Oh yeah," grabs the chicken nuggets, sits right next to me, and can for the next 10 minutes, just one right after the other, just eats them all, and then looks at his dad. "Look, I finished it." And I was like, "How's your tummy feel?" "It hurts." I was like, "But you finished your chicken nuggets. You showed me." So don't put it past people. Pain and anger makes people do crazy things. Do you think, and we've talked about where he's going to go. We have, I'm excited. Robert
Oh, God, really, Jorge? You had to tell me that it's Robert Rodriguez doing the last episode, didn't you?
Jorge has a prediction, but Nev's head might explode.
Danny Trejo gets the Darksaber.
Oh, and he rides in on the Rancor.
Rides in on the Rancor and just starts eating. Oh, God, no.
Space.
No, don't.
Space
Can't
machete.
believe. Just, no. Robert bloody. Stick with El Mariachi movies.
Those are the best movies. All right. Back to Tank. Where are we?
This one for me, 100%. I mean, every single beat was right on for me. I'm excited to see what happens. So, 100% full on the Back to Tank. This was a full flashback inducing episode.
Yeah. Nev.
It's all over the place. It is just all over the place. So the setup for the last episode, I'm not hopeful. The last
Really?
episode, it's like, where's it? Is it going to be? Is it going to be a Mando episode? Is it going to be a Boba episode? Who knows?
All right.
I have absolutely no idea because the last 2 episodes have been Mando season 3, episode 0 and 0.5.
Yeah.
Right. It's not been the Book of Boba. I mean, it's the Book of Boba in name only, literally in name only. Nothing about the last 2 episodes has progressed the Book of Boba storyline along at all, apart from a scene at Boba's palace where they're stood around the holograms and you know what's his face says, I might know some people. That's it. That's the only thing in the last 2 episodes. So I have no idea, right? That this they have not set up the last episode for me at all.
Okay.
So it's completely and utterly all over the place as far as I'm concerned. That being said, the episode on his own, as a standalone episode of Star Wars, was still very good.
Okay. So percentage
80.
80. All right. So
that's better
because it's still a good
Yeah.
episode of Star Wars, but in the in the series, like I said, in the series timeline of the book, it's all over the place. What is it setting up a Book of Boba finale, or is it setting up a Mando? It's just, who knows? It could go either way. I have no idea.
Yeah, with it being a Robert Rodriguez episode, I've already said, Danny Trejo is going to come riding in on the Rancor. Han Solo will be behind him, and the Martez sisters will save the day.
Oh God, no! It won't be the Martez sisters that saves the day. No, no. It's not going to be. It's not going to be the Martez sisters that saves the day. It'll be a cameo. It'll be some random cameo from some other Star Wars characters that ride in and save. That's my money.
Han and Chewie.
Sorry, what?
That's the rumor, man. Han and Chewie.
I thought you. I thought you were just shit. No, I was gonna say some, as in like bounty hunter. Like Forlom and Zuckuss and Dengar and Bosk all turning up and being on. Where the hell did you get Han and Chewie
That's
from?
the rumor, dude. That's the rumor that's going around is Han and Chewie.
Come on.
Han and Chewie.
And Ezra.
Thrawn and Ezra.
It would make more sense for a bunch of old school bounty hunters that have worked with Boba before in the past to rock up and save the day.
I 100% agree, but that's not the rumor. The rumor is
no, it
Han
can't. They can't do that. It's so bloody It's just no. If Robert Rodriguez does that, I swear to God, I will never watch another Robert Rodriguez movie ever again.
Don't start making promises.
It's Grogu and Omega.
Grogu and Omega. I think it could be Grogu and Luke.
Omega, yeah. I'm your sister.
Yeah, I'm your sister. Let's make out.
Oh my God.
All right, now that being said,
if they were to reproduce, they would be literally making clones.
That is true. That is true. Now that being said, we have before I finish, thoughts on Cara Dune joining the fray.
Okay, we need a poll, so that we need a poll.
Are we going to see Cara Dune?
So put
no.
Yeah, we will.
Audience,
she'll ride it. She'll be one of those characters that rides in at the end because the Mando
because of the
is
wonderful
the one
things he does.
Because the Mando, I don't think it's just going to be Cara. I think it'll be Cara, and I think it'll be I think Carl Weathers will rock up as well. The Mando's going to phone up and say, look, I'm kind of on a promise here. I told Boba that I could find some guys, and
I need help moving.
He kind of he helped me out in my show, right? He helped me out in my show. I've got to help him out in his show. And the guy I thought was going to help me has said no. So can you can you and Carl jump in your ship and, come help us out.
Yeah. Keep in mind that we also have a space ranger flying around somewhere around Tatooine. I think we could see him show up again as well. Now,
Trapper Wolf?
Trapper Wolf? Not Trapper Wolf. We have...
the guy from Kim's Convenience.
Yeah, right. When he's not running his convenience store, he's, saving the galaxy, policing the galaxy. Which I think is a great side job. I mean... Right? Anyways, personally, I'm with Paul. I think this was a great episode. I am a little... If I take it as a Book of Boba Fett episode, I'm gonna go with right there down the middle between the two of you. I'm gonna say 90. I like it, but again, I think that it's setting up as a final film, right? I said the first 4 episodes were definitely a movie unto itself if you were to watch them back to back to back. This feels a little different, but it feels like a movie unto itself before The Mandalorian. As a Star Wars show, 100%. 100%. I thought it was great. As a Book of Boba Fett show, I was a little disappointed we don't see more Boba. Right? But seeing what episode 1 or 6 of this was, or not 6, 5 took us, this makes total sense as the next logical progression. So, I am excited for tomorrow. Now, having said that, I got nothing. Having said that, let's, what do you guys have planned for this week?
There's no GAC, so... I did do a 2-hour stream sorting out Magic the Gathering cards last night. That was fun. I just sat here with all of my cameras pointing at cards and made sure that they were the right card. Apart from that, no, I got nothing.
All right.
I don't know. I might do something during the week. I genuinely don't. I genuinely don't know. Depending on how this Robert Rodriguez episode goes, I might have conversations. But...
GAC sign-up starts again tomorrow, Neil.
Yep.
So,
does it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you sure? Oh, thank God for that. Oh. I'm going through withdrawal symptoms at the moment. So yeah.
It starts tomorrow. We're gonna have offense. First day of offense is Thursday evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul.
So everything's gonna be a little different.
It's a little off, yeah. So
a little off. It's like way off.
It's 3 days off. But so, Christy and I have gotten to Lego Batman.
Noise.
In the dimensions, we're at 761, I think it is now, of the 1,016 bricks. So we're on our way to finishing on twitch.tv/Vault37 Studios.
Nice.
But we have a fun episode coming up on the Escape Podcast on Friday.
Nice. I
was just going to say it's, and then GAC, it's going to be a non-GAC night now.
Yeah.
So we'll hopefully have some more people around.
Yeah. I look forward to the story time with Uncle Thad. So, and
it's
now
be about Ninth Sister.
Yeah,
that's going to be an interesting.
That is a bruiser of a lady. She is.
I am so. Come on. One of the specials is Pound Ground. So we have to nickname her Hulk. Hulk Smash.
Sister Smash.
Hulk Smash.
Yeah.
It's got to be the Hulk.
You should see if you can get the rights to the Encanto song. I'm the strong one. I'm not nervous. Anyone? No.
No.
Okay.
Pressure like a drip, 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 that never stops.
Right. Thank you, Paul. Anyways, so actually tomorrow, I'm putting up. So I've done these last 2 unboxing videos for my classroom. I had $1,000 worth of books show up. I'm still missing a couple, but I had a donation from our very own Run DMV who sent me a surprise box, and so I made a video of myself. I was really stoked to see what I got. I'm gonna be posting that tomorrow, so really excited.
At least you got your package from Run.
Yeah. Oh.
Post office lost mine.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Damn them. And this is the fall of the U.S. Okay, I'm going to stop before I go too political. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for joining us, whether you're watching us live or watching us on replay. Always check out the links in the section below. Check out Paul and Nev every Friday night on the Escape Pod just the Escape Pod Network, right? On Twitch.
The Nerdy Network. On Twitch, it's Escape Podcast.
Yes. That one that Paul is saying.
You've been on it before.
Multiple times. I've hosted it before. And I love hosting it. Especially when I gotta say, especially when I get to that random section with Jigabachi. Oh my gosh. That is the most fun I've had in a very long time, just pissing off Nev. It was amazing. It was awesome. But anyways, thank you for tuning in, Paul.
Yep. So everybody, make sure that you like and subscribe. Be nice to each other, damn it, and remember to smile
and stay nerdy.
Nev, push the button.
Pushed.